Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
We are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Prime Time. I'm your host, Hunter Chambliss. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Chad and Carrie. How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hunter, can you please help me move this chair into my van?
I will not.
Come on, man. I just need help moving this into my van, please.
Like,
hey, Hunter, how's it going, buddy?
Don't help people move furniture into their vans unless you're like a mover and that's your job.
What are the other rules for safety? Let's go over this. You watch all the podcasts.
Lock your doors.
Lock your doors.
Carry pepper spray.
No candy from people in vans.
Yeah.
Never say I'll be right back because you won't be back.
Don't do that. You can have sex. Just as long
no
as
drinking. Oh, sorry.
As long as there's consent, you can have sex.
Yeah.
No drinking. Sorry. I've already broken that rule.
Yeah, we're all breaking that today. We're next.
Uh-oh. We all next. All right, guys. So let's get into the news stories for today. This is episode 6. Our main topic is going to be cursed horror films. So let's kick off with the news stories for today. So I will start with this one. So a new the first trailer for a new movie, Australian movie called Sissy came online today from South by Southwest. And it says from BloodDisgusting.com, Sissy trailer, horror movie puts an influencer up against a high school bully. So I'll go through a little of the description of it. Invited away on a bachelorette weekend, Sissy is stuck in a remote cabin with her high school bully and a taste for revenge. So yeah, I watched the trailer. This looks very interesting, a cool way of meshing social media influencers with the harsh realities of bullying and things like that, and when it could go too far. I love how she's a mental health guru or advocate on her videos, and how some dirt can be brought up on that. Guys, what do you think about the trailer for Sissy?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little annoyed because seeing South by Southwest, because I wanted to do that film festival, but I didn't do my research and the price basically doubled. You got to get tickets early if you want to not have a double on you. So I'm like, I'm not doing it. But that's really cool that this seems to be like a South by Southwest favorite. It's a horror film. That's always good news. This really gave me, I don't know, I don't think Carrie has seen this, but maybe you have, Hunter, and maybe our audience has. Ingrid Goes West.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's an Aubrey Plaza movie, and like she's kind of insane, but it's like, she's like, she uses like the phone a lot. It's kind of like got that vibe. So that's why that was really like, all the texting and stuff like that. It seems like this was like kind of like a cross between that and like Searching. And I'm like, maybe they'll have like really cool, like innovative ways to tell this story with like, texting and emojis and all this stuff. And, it definitely seems really creepy. I think that's all I had.
Okay.
I'll go with whatever you say.
Okay. I think it looks really interesting and cool. Like this looks like kind of a pretty unique storyline, something we haven't really seen a ton in the horror space. It looks pretty scary as well. So I'm excited for it.
It's going to dive deep into horror. You said you thought you recognized the main actress.
I was like, her name is Aisha D. I was like, where do I know her from? I've seen her face a lot. You know how on Facebook, if you're scrolling, it'll just kind of suggest random videos to you. And sometimes those videos, if you're at least me, for some reason, I don't watch what is now Freeform and in my childhood used to be ABC Family.
ABC Family.
She's in a show.
But she's in a Freeform show that Facebook constantly just wants me to see stuff. And sometimes I watch those clips because I have nothing better to do with my life.
Well, I will say also, I just got reminded of the fact that trailer also gave me mad like Get Out vibes.
Yeah.
From the way the music was, like
Or like Us, like
Us,
just like
yeah.
the trailers for those movies.
It felt very
Yeah.
Jordan Peele, but I don't think he has anything to do with this movie.
I don't think he does either, but the one thing, and as you guys bring that up, I love, again, with a Nope trailer, I love trailers that you can watch and don't really know where the story's going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
what I get from this trailer, especially horror trailers. I don't want to know everything. I don't want to get spoiled for everything.
They need to give you a taste.
Yep.
And like a general vibe of what the movie's going to be. Exactly how the Nope trailer was. Just a taste. Like, this is the vibe we're going, but we're not giving anything away. Like, we're going to give you the basic, you know.
Yeah, just a little teaser. And also, I love the fact that this is it seems like an Australian movie. I read, so it's like an all Australian cast.
Yeah,
things like that. So it's really good to get a lot of like more international flavor in horror.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just like when we saw like Speak No Evil.
Well, all the
pretty much all of them. Yeah,
all the Sundance horror films we watched.
Well, because we haven't seen like Fresh or what was that other one with Regina Hall? Not Master.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Master or Fresh yet, but excited about those. I think they'll be on Hulu soon. Hulu's getting a lot of the horror stuff.
Or it might have been one of them might have been on Amazon.
And I think that actually leads into another story.
Yeah, it does. Carrie, you want to
transition?
Oh, sure.
She's got to pull up the doc. She's unprepared.
Okay, so Fangoria reported that filming has started for an adaptation of a Stephen King short story called The Boogeyman.
From Night Shift.
Mm-hmm. I don't really remember this short story, but I definitely want to go back and read it.
I don't remember anything from Night Shift. That was like in high school we read that. So
yeah.
I want to go back and read all of his anthologies because they're so good. All of his like compiled work. They're just like creepy little stories. And some of them have actual novellas in them, like where we got the Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me, but some of them are just like really creepy short stories and they're weird. Yeah. Boogeyman might be weird.
I don't know.
Stephen King's a weird guy, so it might be.
It's going to be directed by Rob Savage. Oh, and Rob Savage directed Host, which was a Shudder exclusive film.
Yes.
I love Host.
Yes.
That was a very creepy movie.
That movie is great.
They did such a great job with the medium, like using the pandemic to be like, you know what, let's make a horror movie out of this. This is kind of a horror movie this year, so let's make a horror movie out of it.
And especially using using Skype as your main use of making the movie. And it was only like an hour long. It was a very short movie.
Yeah, so short. And it felt like it feels like a lot of, because you have like regular found footage, but then I feel like Searching came out, and then
so like Host in a way is like Paranormal Activity meets Searching.
Yeah, it is exactly.
Is what I would say.
I love when I love stuff like that. I mean, like I'm a big I like certain experimental movies. I'm a big David Lynch fan, so like when it goes out there, sometimes they use like different kind of filmmaking techniques, different ways to tell a story. I think it's very interesting. Ooh, like what was that one? The Wolf House.
Oh, the Wolf House.
Have you seen that?
That's a horror movie. This is a very arty horror movie.
Very arty horror movie. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of it.
The Wolf House. I'm trying to remember where it's from. France.
Oh,
if you can
I think it's
double check that. It's
in Spanish.
Oh, that's right, because he kept going Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's a very creepy one. So it's just like soft, creepy dialogue over like this like kind of neat little animated
Chile
art style. Oh, it's a Chile.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Chilean.
And they it's hard to
German and Mexican.
Okay, it's hard to explain how they made this, but it was like a weird little art style don't want to keep saying weird, but strange,
weird.
different. But it's very interesting. It was a very creepy movie because it's like all takes place in like this one setting, and like just like things change. It's did you see what the art style is?
Oh,
Technically, I'm
um,
gonna look it up. But hey, Hunter, have you read a lot of Stephen King? Have you read The Boogeyman or Night Shift?
I have not read The Boogeyman. I've read a few novels by Stephen King. I read tried to read it, way too long for me to try to finish.
Yeah.
But I did read The Shining. Very different than the movie, but I love
Yeah.
both
Oh, yeah.
equally.
Yeah. Well, if we're getting into that conversation,
Speaking of,
yeah, Carrie and I are. This is actually Carrie and I are huge Stephen King fans. In fact, other than I'd say Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is our favorite TV show of all time. Stephen King is like one of kind of like the bedrocks of our like relationship, like how we got together and like bonded. Just talking about Stephen King and stuff like that. Yeah, so. And Carrie used to have like all the books. I would borrow them from her in high school,
that's
and
right.
it was adorable because I'd read them and they'd always have Carrie written on the cover and stuff like that. But yeah, like we love Stephen King. It's just been a while since we read that one, but yeah, some of his books are so long, but I feel like they're worth it because he goes into such amazing
detail.
And I feel like that's also kind of sometimes why it's hard for people to adapt Stephen King.
Because you only got like maybe 2 hours at most, unless it's a mini series.
I was about to say, unless you're Mike Flanagan and you make a Dr. Sleep and then you do your own cut and then you do it however long you want.
And you make it like 3 hours long, and I still gotta watch that director's cut. I am willing to watch that.
The director's cut, I think, adds so much to it.
Yeah.
I also love that what the director's cut does. This isn't a spoiler, but it like adds like chapters to different sections of the movie.
Great, yeah.
And I love when movies do that. When they do them well, because it's really, really fun.
Yeah, that's what like Tarantino does that a lot.
Yeah,
with his movies, like he'll have like chapter openings and titles and things like that.
That's how they were able to take like the Hateful Eight and actually make it into like a
into a 4-part miniseries.
Yeah, on Netflix. It was just
because like each chapter is based on, or each episode is based on one chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie has a really good talented cast as well, including David Damashian.
Desmalchin.
Oh, I love
there we go.
Desmalchin.
He's like Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad recently.
Yes, he's also a big Denis Villeneuve actor, and his first film role was The Dark Knight. So this dude has like a great career. He's just,
and then I believe he was also in the Belko Experiment as well.
Okay, I wouldn't say maybe all of them are great, but
I like the
Belko Experiment is not bad.
It's all right. I wouldn't say, I said not great. But
and it's
yeah,
also, sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
But yeah, like Chris Mina, Sophia Thatcher, who was in Yellow Jackets. I still need to watch it. I watched the first episode, and she is really good in the first episode of Yellow Jackets.
All right. Who was who was Chris, whatever you said?
He was in the HBO show Sharp Objects.
Ooh, was he like the detective or whatever? Because we like that.
I'm not sure. Let me look it up real quick just to be sure.
I think he was like the detective or whatever.
Yeah, he was the detective. Yeah.
Yeah, he was also in 2010's Devil. He was in 2021's I Care a Lot, The Mindy Project.
Ooh, I like that Care a Lot. Not a horror, well, kind of a horror movie actually. Yeah. Not
real life horror.
Real life horror, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
What is it? Old age horror and what people might do to you.
Jesus.
So yeah, Hulu is getting a lot of like indie horror films. It looks like
they're getting a lot of films in general, like going to them. Like, like Fresh is going straight there, which is a horror movie with Bucky. What is his name?
Sebastian Stan. Hell yeah.
and I think they got Flea. There's a lot of movies going to Hulu. Hulu's doing well for themselves these days.
Hey,
I mean, I guess
you
they're
guys
owned
want to
by
add anything
Disney
else to?
No, not
Just
really. I
maybe-
haven't seen
So.
the trailer hasn't dropped for that one, so there's not too much to go on.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I wish I would have like reread the short story, but
Oh, I did.
Oh.
At the end of this article, it does say, I think we knew about the new fire starter. We talked about that I think,
Yeah.
last week.
Last week or the week before.
no, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Apparently, there's going to be another new Pet Cemetery.
Oh
A new
no!
Salem slot.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
Explain this.
A new
You can't just bring
The
this up and
Running
not explain
Man
this.
and the Talisman, which would be a first never
Ooh.
brought
Is
to.
the
I
ta-
don't think.
Wait, is the
Talisman?
Talisman an actual novel?
Yes.
It's just written by two people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the other guy? Because you had this on your nightstand for like a long time.
Peter Straub.
Okay.
And yes, technically I am still only partway through that book that I started reading like
We don't-
2 years ago.
We don't read a lot. It's
Just do not
it's
have time.
terrible. Yeah, we don't have time, and then we always get distracted with movies and TV.
Yeah, apparently there is a new Pet Cemetery movie coming
I don't.
at Paramount.
Maybe they'll do it better than this last.
Well,
remake.
yeah, I mean, this last movie I didn't like really at all. I didn't like the choices that they made. But the original's a classic, but I'd say the original's not even like the best movie. So that's kind of why I was hoping that it was going to be like a Andy Muschietti the Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
That's what the trailers looked like to me. Like they were like doing it really different and creepy, and then it was a letdown.
So apparently it's gonna have Henry Thomas and
Is it directed by Mike Flanagan?
Samantha Mathis in the cast so far.
Because Henry Thomas pretty much does exclusively Mike Flanagan stuff.
If it's Mike Flanagan directing, I'm gonna be so excited.
Dude, I mean, this dude has not missed. Even some of the ones like, was it Before I Sleep? What is it called? What was it called? You just watched this.
And
What?
Pam Grier as well.
Before I Sleep?
Before I Wake.
Before I Wake. The opposite. Pam Grier. Oh, from Jackie Brown.
Yep.
Ooh. Wait, is Quentin Tarantino directing?
Oh, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a sequel, maybe, to the 2019 Pet Cemetery.
Oh no!
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot. It's hard to sort through.
That's
because
a terrible.
There was just
decision.
an adaptation in 2019.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's so soon. I feel like they should just like not do it or like do more of like I feel like if someone bombs on a movie, don't make another movie.
But
Make
they're
like a-
recasting Crandall. I wonder if it's going to be a prequel.
Do something extremely
Jackson
different.
White.
Do something extremely different, or like do like a mini series or something like that. Like, don't do
Yeah.
the same exact thing you just did or someone else just did. It feels like
Yeah.
when the Jungle Book came out, like the movie that Jon Favreau did, and then
They made one for Netflix.
and Andy Serkis was like, "Oh, I've been making Mowgli though."
It's got to be a prequel because they said that they recast Judd Crandall as a very young man.
God,
Okay.
That's interesting, actually. But I don't.
Okay.
I don't
Like a
think that-
prequel.
I don't
Which
think
could be
that's-
interesting if they delve deeper into. Because remember in the original movie, Judd said that someone brought back someone from the dead, and he came back as a zombie or whatever. It'd be cool if they delve deeper into like maybe Judd's story and maybe how he found out about
They
that.
should just call it what his
Yeah.
name's Judd Crandall.
Mhm.
They should
Mhm.
just call it Crandall or Judd.
Crandall.
Judd.
dot
Judd.
dot
Pet
dot.
Cemetery story. And Judd
Dot,
can be misspelled too.
Yes.
Like 14 D's. Judd.
Oh my god. All right, guys. So let's move on to the final news story for today. Chad, you want to go ahead and take this one?
Oh, maybe. Depends on what it is. Disney's The Haunted Mansion movie gets a release date. Wait, what? Like a remake?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
remaking that one as well.
Okay. Well, does it have
Oh.
Eddie Murphy in it?
No, but it's
No, it does not.
very exciting people though.
All right. Well, let me pull this up. It's going to take a second. Is this animated?
No, it's live action.
No.
All right, it just looks like the ghosts look kind of weird, but maybe that's the ride. A picture from the
Yeah.
ride. A brand new The Haunted Mansion movie, I'm reading from Bloody Disgusting, is in the works over at Disney, and we've learned today that the film will be scaring its way into theaters in the early part of 2023. March 10th, so a year from now, basically, is what this is doing.
Yep. March 10th, 2023.
Directed by Justin Simeon. I don't know what he's.
It says it.
Oh, look at this.
Series.
He's wait, where?
In-
Oh,
Dear White People and Bad Hair.
Okay. I haven't really seen either of those, but I've heard they're very good.
Mhm.
So maybe
The
this will have-
ensemble cast is what gets me excited.
Yeah.
maybe this will have kind of like a it'll be like woke The Haunted Mansion by
Hey.
Justin Simeon. Lakeith Stanfield, okay, you've got my attention. Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Rosario Dawson, and Danny DeVito. Oh my god, okay.
What
Are you
a
sure-
fucking cast.
You sure this
know.
isn't a Tim Burton movie? with Danny DeVito?
Be amazing if it was.
His track record recently, I'm not so sure, but yeah, the Dark Ride attraction, which launched in 1969 and is still going strong today at Disney parks, sees theme park guests go inside a spooky and oh wait, are they just telling us about the ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The film follows a mother and her son who come across a mansion that is more than it seems while being orbited by various characters key to undressing the spooky mystery. DeVito will play a smug professor. Oh shit, I want to see DeVito play a smug professor.
Yes, I do as well.
After being a huge It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, I'll watch that dude do anything. So
Well, this sounds like it's gonna be a fun, like, kids horror movie.
yeah, like House with a Clock in its walls. For
Yeah.
a little bit
The
older
one
kids,
thing
Scary
that gets
Story,
me
Fear
that gets me
Street.
kind of worried is the screenwriter for this movie, Katie DePaul,
Mm-hmm.
also wrote Ghostbusters 2016.
I fucking
So-
love Ghostbusters 2016, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to laugh my ass off.
Step off there, Hunter. Okay, I didn't just freeze. We're big Ghostbusters 2016. Okay, it's not a fantastic movie. It's the original Ghostbusters. But I think it does a lot more than Ghostbusters Afterlife did. I think it's like
I love Afterlife, so
I understand that, but Afterlife to me coasted so much off of nostalgia and doing all the same stuff from the original movie. I'm like, at least 2016 is its own thing. Like
She
they're trying to
also
do
wrote
something
The
new.
Heat, which was Sandra Bullock
Ooh.
and Melissa McCarthy.
Wait, is
So
Melissa McCarthy
that,
not
that
in it?
doesn't give me any hope either.
that movie was so funny. All right, apparently me and Kate Dippold have very similar sense of humor, like no one else.
All right, we're calling it. If Welcome to Primetime is still going on in March of 2023, we will be here.
Oh no, wait, she might have just.
We will carry on.
Oh, sorry.
We will be here. Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
you're right. You're right.
interrupt you, but we'll be here with Haunted Mansion hats on, and you'll be over there with crossed arms, like.
Who knows? Maybe I'll like it. Who knows? But the writing team does not give me hope right now.
I don't. Maybe a cameo, but I don't think Melissa McCarthy's in this. Maybe you just don't like her.
That's
To be fair, I
That was
haven't
the
liked
question.
any movie she's been in.
gross.
So, and it's nothing against her. I just don't like her brand of comedy.
Okay.
Well,
Spy.
yeah.
Spy was hilarious.
Never seen Spy.
What about
but-
Bridesmaids? You like that one?
I like Bridesmaids. I don't like her in Bridesmaids.
Interesting.
I don't really like
Okay.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I don't get the hype for it either, but it was funny. All right, I guess we can move on. If have you seen the original Haunted Mansion? I've seen parts of it.
To be fair, when I was younger, I watched the Haunted Mansion on replay constantly.
Well, you're a lot younger than us, so like that kind of sounds right, actually.
Because
For
at the
us,
time,
it was-
I would have been what? I would have been 5 when that movie came out. So
Yeah, for us, that was more like Beetlejuice and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
I will say going back and rewatching it, Jennifer Tilly is fantastic in that movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Which one?
Jennifer Tilly is
Oh. Jennifer Tilly,
the ball.
like Tiffany from Child's Play?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, she's in that movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
she plays the voice of that orb,
Oh, yeah, the head.
the head, the orb. Yeah.
okay.
I saw parts of it.
Oh, okay.
And I rode the ride. And the
Well, I've
ride's
seen it.
great.
I've been on the ride.
The ride is great.
All right, so let's move on
Okay,
to our main topic. So we have 4 movies that are famously cursed. So I'll take Poltergeist, and then we can just kind of go. We can each take one from there. All right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right. So yeah, we will begin with Poltergeist. So I'm just gonna go through the incidents that make it seem like it's cursed. So the first cast member to die by the curse was 22-year-old Dominique Dunn. Dunn had previously broken up with her abusive boyfriend, sous chef John Thomas Sweeney. Sweeney showed up at her West Hollywood house, and after she agreed to talk to him outside, Sweeney strangled her into a coma in the driveway. She was placed on life support and never regained consciousness, dying on November 4th, 1982, after being declared brain dead. The second cast member to die by the curse was 60-year-old Julian Beck, who portrayed Henry Kane in Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. Beck, who had been diagnosed with stomach cancer in 1983, succumbed to the disease on September 14th, 1985. The third cast member to die by the curse was 53-year-old Will Sampson, who portrayed Taylor in Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. Sampson died on January 3rd, 1987, of post-operative kidney failure and malnutrition problems after undergoing a heart and lung transplant. And of course, the fourth and final person to die by the curse was 12-year-old Heather O'Rourke, who died on February 1st, 1988, during surgery to repair an acute bowel obstruction. That's from the Urban Legend Wiki.
Poor Carol Ann, man. She was so adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. Like, I know I've read the details more of what happened to her, and it was just like a really freak thing that the doctors, like, I guess just didn't catch.
Mm-hmm.
And like could have been preventable maybe if it had been caught in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
saddest one to me is go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's of course it's more fun to attribute it to a curse and be like, it's cursed. But
Yeah.
it's just really like tragic circumstances, I feel like. But maybe there is a curse. I don't know.
Yeah. So to me, the saddest one probably has to be the Dominique Dunn story, because that one was completely preventable. Like, it was someone who just went too far and snapped. Like, there was no reason for this young girl to die the way she did.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in any person's life cut short is sad. I mean, it makes me sad. Like like a 12-year-old, dies, stuff like that. But it sucks that a lot of these people had their life cut short. But
yeah,
very good movie.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah, very good movie. It's a sad topic.
Yeah.
Didn't they use like real skeletons?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Uh-huh.
That's like
they got them from like colleges that use real skeletons to study on. They use those.
It's like, how ethical is that? Like,
not.
It's really not, but I understand why colleges would do that, especially med school students.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But for a movie, like
maybe what I'll do is like, if I ever decide to like donate my organs or my body to science, I'll say also for a film career post-mortem.
Yes.
I'll be like, hell yeah. If you could put me in a scene.
Put me in Evil Dead 15, baby. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Chad, do you want to take this? This next one.
Well, it depends on what it is. Let me
It's
see.
Rosemary's Baby.
All right, I'll take that one. Yeah. Rosemary's Baby. Here's what Hunter came up with from InsideHook.com. The movie came out in June 1968. Fantastic film. That autumn, Christoph Komeda, who scored the movie, fell off a cliff and into a coma. Oh my God. Never regained consciousness. Jesus. In April 1969, the film's producer, William Castle, contracted a terrible case of kidney stones. I hope I never get those. As Counter writes, while delirious in the hospital, he hallucinated scenes from the film and was said to have yelled, "Rosemary, for God's sake, drop the knife." Castle recovered just barely and never made a Hollywood hit again. That's less sad. Director Roman Polanski's pregnant wife at the time, Sharon Tate, was brutally murdered in August 1969 by the Manson family, along with the couple's unborn son. Okay. At the Tate crime scene, Helter Skelter was written in blood on the wall, a popular Beatles song. Oh, yeah, the song was on the Beatles' White Album. And years later, John Lennon would be assassinated near the luxury apartment building, the Dakota, where Rosemary's Baby was filmed by Mark David Chapman.
Yeah, and I will also say on the reason I added the Sharon Tate one is because she does have a credited role in the background of Rosemary's Baby. So she was on the set, she was in the movie, she was seen in the movie, and then a few weeks after that, the Manson family incident happened.
Yeah, I mean, definitely makes sense. She was an actress. Yeah, that's all sad. I mean, I guess the one guy who lived, at least, that wasn't that bad, but you know,
yeah, William Castle.
Yeah, but shoot, yeah, great.
Yeah, there's
film.
no way we can like really discuss this.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like, what if you? I mean, we've already kind of
hard.
established like either these things are legitimately cursed or not. You know, and it's impossible to say if they are. So
yeah,
or aren't.
Carrie, you want to add anything?
At least bring up the facts of the.
Yeah, this is a sad topic.
Yeah,
it's a very sad topic.
We may need to joke around a little bit at the end or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. But I will say, the term curses on films I always found hilarious. Just because it's like people want to put something when something tragic happens, we want to kind of be like, it wasn't this and this and this, it was a curse, or it was completely something different. It wasn't what actually happened. Like for Poltergeist, for example, it wasn't a curse. It was, an ex-boyfriend went mad, or it was an undiagnosed, bowel condition, or, in Rosemary's Baby, it was a dude falling off a cliff. But it's realistic stuff that we want to add the term cursed to.
But as it's kind of human nature. We always want to tell stories and just kind of like make sense of things, and so we make sense of tragedy and tragic circumstances by framing something into it. Like, even when we hear about like serial killer stuff, sometimes it's like, well, there's really no motive there, and then we're like, but what if? We're always trying to like create some sort of like framework to make sense of stuff.
Or our brains are always trying to make connections
and patterns.
And that's why you like, you'll see a face and like, a tortilla or something like.
Yeah.
Like the Virgin Mary and the tortilla.
Yes.
That I saw. What?
No, I'm just kidding.
That was definitely the plot of some TV show.
Well, they did have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on the wall, the bathroom wall.
I know. So like the weirdest curse I've ever seen in like used in a movie is in the movie Devil from
I still haven't seen
Shyamalan.
That. Was that
pretty
directed
much
by Shyamalan or just produced and written?
I think it was produced and written by Shyamalan.
I don't think it was directed by him.
I don't think it was directed, but like
horror.
Michael Pena's in that movie as a cop, and he says the sure way you can tell the devil is there is if you grab some jelly toast, and if you flip it and it lands jelly side down, then there's a devil.
What?
Yes.
Especially with horror movies, because they're already spooky and like, have this kind of spooky basis to them. We're especially like, anytime someone from the horror movie dies, we're gonna
And you're like, oh, it's always something.
yeah.
If you throw, if you're cooking macaroni, you throw one on the wall and it sticks. That's how you know it's done. That was the other thing.
Is that true?
To bring up, I think. I don't know.
I've heard that's true.
I don't normally do it.
I've heard that before, but I'm not quite sure if that's true or not. I've never tried it.
I didn't test it. Like, I usually just like taste test it to see if
I was hoping Carrie'd be like, "Is that why macaroni's always on the wall?"
It's just
Never
sticks.
done.
All right, Carrie, you want to take the next story?
Oh, okay, I'll take the.
She's got
I think this is the saddest one.
Mhm.
All right, this is Twilight Zone, the movie. During the film of segment 1 of the movie, directed by John Landis, on July 23rd, 1982, at around 2:30 a.m., actor Vic Morrow and the child actors in the movie, Micah Dinley, who is 7, and Renee Shin Yi Chen, age 6, died in an accident involving a helicopter being used on the set. The two child actors were hired in violation of California law, which prohibits child actors from working at night or in proximity to explosions, and requires the presence of a teacher or social worker. During the subsequent trial, Landis denied culpability for the accident, but admitted their hiring was wrong.
No shit, it was wrong.
Yeah, and to have them working at 2:30 in the morning, 6 and 7, like there's under no circumstances.
They're developing children. They need their sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Producer and co-director Steven Spielberg was so disgusted by Landis's handling of the situation, he ended their friendship and publicly called for the end of the New Hollywood era, where directors had almost complete control over film. When approached by the press about the accident, he stated, "No movie is worth dying for. I think people are standing up much more now than ever before to producers and directors who ask too much. If something isn't safe, it's the right and responsibility of every actor or crew member to yell cut." Co-director George Miller was so repulsed by the entire scenario, he abandoned post-production of his segment, leaving Joe Dante to supervise the ending.
So if anybody tries to tell you that government regulation is bad and like things are more dangerous now than they've ever been, don't listen, because
New Hollywood era.
They didn't have seat belts.
It was illegal at that time. Not that I don't disagree with you, but it was illegal. He was doing it against the law.
And also nothing good happens after 3 a.m. So
it was
fair point. But like
nothing good ever happens.
the whole idea of like directors having complete control on their sets, stuff like this happens. You get, like, I don't understand why they had to use a real helicopter on set. Yeah, you could have easily just created one or used a green screen effect, whatever.
I don't know if they really had stuff
like
that.
I mean like on a green screen backdrop and have like half of the thing working.
It's kind of funny though, because like in the reverse, like I remember watching Police Story with Jackie Chan, and he was all about, talking about how like in America I can't do any of the stuff I want to do because there's so much red tape. So I just go back to China and make all the movies that I want exactly how I want to make them, because there's like no rules.
Yeah, so. Definitely. It's sad that 3 people had to die for something to change.
That's why there are rules now.
Yeah.
Strict.
Yeah, and it seems like back then when Twilight Zone the movie was first coming out, they were more lenient on the rules.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of, I think, what this summary was talking about that you wrote, Hunter, that like even though there were rules, if the director wanted to go against the rules, everyone did what the director said.
Yeah.
Well, you got to listen to your director. That's
except if they're being unsafe.
Yeah, then you question it. They're being unsafe.
Yeah, definitely. So let's move on to the 4th and final film that is cursed. And actually, this is like a whole family curse, I would say as well. Is the crow curse? Also, you could call it the Lee family curse as well. Because Brandon Lee and Bruce Lee sadly died both on set, both using prop guns, both. I mean, Brandon Lee's was a little different because Bruce Lee died after, I believe it was after a stunt when the prop gun went wrong, and then he took aspirin and then kind of just succumbed to. He fell asleep and never woke up.
Oh shit!
Because he had I don't know the entire story about that, but it's something in that era. But it wasn't just Brandon Lee dying on The Crow, which has brought the curse along, which is also really sad. But I'll go through what Ranker.com has said. So it says, without a doubt, the worst thing to happen on the set of The Crow was the death of Brandon Lee. In the film, Lee's character was shot by a character named Funboy, and in a terrible turn of events, his on-screen demise became real. A series of events led to Lee's ultimate end on March 31st, 1993. First, the weapons master for the film was sent away for the day, and the prop master filled the .44 caliber gun used in the scene with blanks without checking the barrel. When the actor playing Funboy, Michael Massey, fired at Lee from very close range, the bullet pierced the actor before hitting the stem of his aura, sorry about that, mortally wounding him. After a series of unsuccessful blood transfusions, Lee passed away at 1:04 p.m. So, yeah, again, a very sad death, a very preventable death as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that death, I think, brought along a lot of new regulations in the film world, because I think that the bullet wasn't loaded; it was stuck
in
from
the
a
chamber.
prior use.
Yeah.
Or it might have even just been a fragment or something. So now, when this is how you're supposed to check guns, I read a lot about this because I was of the Rust stuff, and I was very interested in how all that happened.
Just gonna bring that up.
You check the gun, make sure no rounds are loaded, but you also look down the barrel of the gun and you hold your hand in front of it and you make sure the light goes and comes away with your hand and that nail stuck in the barrel.
They can't make super realistic fake guns these days and never actually have a real weapon.
And that and again with
or CGI a gun. We can do that these days.
An incident just happened recently on
Rust, yes.
On Rust, yeah.
Yes, you just mentioned it. I have the article up here.
And it's how does this stuff keep happening?
Well,
why do you have to use a real gun on set?
I wouldn't say it happens crazy frequently. That's why something like Rust is such a big deal. If no one knows what we're talking about, there's this movie that's supposed to come out called Rust, and it was starring Alec Baldwin. But a cinematographer was killed, Helena Hutchins, and she was killed on set. Apparently, it was a very intense scene and stuff like that. But the gun. Okay, go ahead, Carrie. She knows a lot about this.
I know all about this.
Go ahead. Hell yeah.
So they weren't even filming. They weren't even rolling the camera. They were setting up a scene.
Okay.
I don't understand why a gun was necessary when you're setting up a scene. It shouldn't. I've listened to interviews with people behind the scenes of action movies and horror stuff, and the practice is you never point a gun at someone, especially even a fake gun, but especially a real gun, even a fake gun, you don't point it at someone unless you are actually filming and the script directly requires it.
Wow. So it looks like they definitely broke rules here.
Or at least that's the best practice, right? Maybe that's not the law, but that's the best practice if you're being safe.
Yeah, they weren't acting in a safe manner and someone lost their life.
This one is still being under investigation. I don't want to throw out who's to blame because it's still under investigation. I think it's hard to say at this point, but I
will say I know a lot of people are putting blame on Alec Baldwin. I'm in the camp that right now I am not putting the blame on him, because a lot of people are he should have checked the gun. That's not his job as an actor.
But best practices on at least other sets were that the actor does, and maybe he wasn't instructed. That's what he was supposed to be doing, is checking the gun.
Yeah, but also wasn't the again, kind of like with the Crow, the props department, weren't they got replaced by someone who wasn't as experienced?
Okay, well, so they hired someone who had only an armorer, who I think she's like she's younger. She might be your age, Hunter. She was only, or maybe a little older.
Wow.
She's 26. This was her second movie. It came out during her first movie was with Nicolas Cage, and actually Nicolas Cage like yelled at her because she kept like shooting off rounds without warning people. And like,
I did not hear about this.
Yeah, and so but I don't want to say this particular incident had anything to do with that. You know, her defense is, she says, I checked everything, and there were, I mean, one of the big things is that Helena Hutchins was killed, they think, by a real bullet, and under no circumstances should a real bullet like filled with lead that you would actually shoot someone
just have
with,
like a rubber bullet or a blank.
It's literally unheard of. They're supposed to be blanks or like these kind of like fake bullet things that are empty.
Bullet, right?
They're not rubber, but they're empty. They're not supposed to be like you buy a gun in the store and you buy the ammo from it. Like there's not supposed to be any ammo near that set, and it's kind of, that's the thing, is how did that ammo end up on the set? Like, how did it end up on the gun? That's the big question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like especially nowadays you can make realistic looking guns and then just add a gunshot sound effect.
Yeah.
In editing, and that will give you the exact same experience.
I mean, like, I don't even think like I honestly think if you were to use like a real gun in a real movie, the sound wouldn't even work. It'd be way too loud.
Well,
it would drown everything
like,
out.
One, the muzzle shot, but a lot of people say now it's almost less expensive to just CGI all of that in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because half the time it doesn't show up on camera anyways, or like
yeah.
Anyway.
So, but yeah, the Brendan Lee death and the Rust incident are just two of the, you know, at least the most famous ones we know of. But some other things happened on The Crow that can only be explained as maybe this is a cursed film. So a crew member driving a cherry picker was electrocuted on set. So according to veteran actor Joe Polito, even the very first day of shooting on The Crow was hosted to an incredibly awful incident. While a crew member was driving a cherry picker to set up lights, he accidentally fell into a ditch. But that wasn't the worst of it. According to an eyewitness, it was a narrow escape from his demise. And the eyewitness had this quote: "We lifted the back of the cherry picker where the guy was lifted up and went right into an electrical pole, and he was electrocuted, and it was near death. All of his organs were burned. He was about 26. His wife was pregnant. It was a bad luck opening to a film."
Oh my god.
Dang.
Like, that is your first day on set. Like, my god. And then you have a prop truck caught fire and nobody knows why. The film was rife with unexplained events that would run most crews off set. While speaking with the AV Club, actor John Polito discussed some of the most bizarre happenings that seemed to go on nonstop while shooting. He said, "The third night we were shooting, I remember a prop truck caught on fire and nobody knew what that was about. If that's not a bad omen, what is?" Then you have a stuntman almost dying during filming. Getting into stunt work is basically asking to beat up, but most stunt people tried to work smart so they don't get hurt. Unfortunately, on the set of The Crow, the universe was completely against the crew, and one stuntman almost lost his life. Reportedly, while preparing for a scene, the stunt person fell through a rooftop set, breaking multiple ribs when he landed. Then there was another electrocution. A carpenter was electrocuted on set. Early on during filming, a carpenter suffered a set of terrible injuries while working in one of the set's many metal buildings. Allegedly, the crew member was doing some work on a metal grinder. When the metal touched a power line, the falling shock caused a serious set of burns to the carpenter's face, chest, and hands. If there's ever a giant sign to tell the crew to stop filming, that was it. And then you have the 9-week filming in North Carolina was plagued by hurricanes and freezing temperatures. So it says throughout the production, despite filming in typically sunny North Carolina, the cast and crew endured freezing temperatures. Then the state had multiple hurricanes, so they were staying in a hotel inn in Cape Fear. So that should give you some sense of what the film is going to be like. And you just got multiple ones, including the screwdriver accident, heightened fears of onset injuries. On any big film, it's not out of the question for a few accidents to happen, especially when you're working in the art department. Essentially, working in the art department is a lot like working on a construction crew. You're building sets, painting, and do whatever you have to do to make the movie look, the way it's supposed to look. Allegedly, one member of the art department ended up getting a screwdriver shoved through their hand. Holy shit. How do you have that many accidents on your set and it's not seemed as cursed?
Yeah. And these don't even sound like things that people were fucking up and being unsafe. And it was like totally random freak accidents.
Like the truck just catching on fire? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
This is the one story where I'm like, this one could be cursed.
Yeah. I have some others I could bring up.
Okay.
Only a couple of them are horror though. But I have a website here, therap.com.
Mm-hmm.
It has just like brief little blurbs though.
Like I know the Superman curse is one that's been going around for a while.
For Rosemary's Baby, I know we talked about it, but they say lead actress Mia Farrow received her divorce papers from Frank Sinatra, and a few months after director Roman Polanski lost his wife Sharon Tate. And then The Exorcist is one that we have not yet done a lot of research on, but we do plan to soon. We have plans for that at some point, maybe. Probably.
I know Linda Blair got injured on set during the her tossing and turning in bed.
Yeah, and Ellen Bernstein. I think
Burstyn.
there's a scene where she's like, it is the same scene where Linda Blair got hurt on the bed. She's like thrown into the wall or a piece of furniture. And she, I think to this day, still has pretty severe back issues from that.
Which I wouldn't really say that's cursed. That's just
bad film. There's more.
Well,
Chad's gonna get
it's just a little blurb. I'm not going to get into it, but it says The Exorcist is one of the most infamously cursed movies of all time. 9 people died during the shoot, and it is said that a fire destroyed large portions of the set.
Jesus!
According to Entertainment Weekly. And the story of the 1973 film's production became the subject of an True Hollywood Story episode. So, yeah, that's it's a pretty big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the guy who, I think his name is Dennings. He plays the director in the movie. He was one of the people to die, and I think he died right after a few days after his scenes wrapped or something.
Wow. I will say the Linda Blair injury and the Ellen Burstyn injuries, we've seen that a lot, especially in early 70s, early 80s horror movies, especially like it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But Stanley Kubrick on The Shining was horrible.
Yeah.
He pretty much tortured Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So it's not out of a possibility that directors are huge dicks, especially back then.
No way. Yeah, they were all doing shit like that to get reactions out of people. And
I think there's a reason that some of these movies we've been talking about have all been concentrated from the 70s and early 80s. It's like that was a time when it was maybe acceptable for the director to have such total complete control, and you could just be like wild shit, like physically injure a 12-year-old and
Linda Blair still has issues with her lower back because of that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. There's just one other one that we haven't discussed. Apparently, the Omen was also cursed.
Yeah, I forgot to bring this one up.
Yeah, it says no one was seriously hurt during filming 1976's The Omen, but chaos seemed to surround everyone involved. Star Gregory Peck and screenwriter David Seltzer had their flight struck by lightning on the way to filming, and
Mhm.
director Richard Donner's hotel was bombed by the IRA. Okay, and members of the crew were caught in a car crash.
And funny
Yeah.
enough, I was watching the cursed films on the Omen.
Mhm.
Now I don't know if this is true or not, but according to someone on set, the road that the car accident happened was Omen Road, OMMEN, Omen Road,
Wow.
That's crazy.
and that was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that pretty much wraps it up on this depressing episode.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
need to do something lighter next week.
Yeah.
we should. Maybe we should do something like I don't know, talk about some of our favorite horror comedies.
Ooh, that would be fun.
I am down with that.
Comedies.
Because I freaking love.
We're just talking about
good
them.
horror
We don't even have
comedy.
to rank them. We can
Yeah,
just
I
talk
didn't say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can. Yeah, maybe not rank them, but like maybe
We
we
can
can
just
have
talk
like
about
our
'em.
own. We could talk about them, but maybe have like we could have like a top 10 or so, or
Yeah.
like a list of 10. They don't even have to be ranked.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of hard, but
I like that.
So like come up with 10 that we all agree on that we can all just geek out about.
or we could just like come up with our own list of
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
and then we can see if there's overlaps. And
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
like
sure
that.
there will be overlap.
Oh,
for sure.
definitely. Or I mean we could also just take the top 10 and do a ranking, do a tier list. We haven't done
Okay.
those in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll come up with something
It will
fun.
be
It'll be
horror
great.
comedies though.
Yeah, so horror comedies will be next week because we need to laugh, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I love to laugh.
Chad and Carrie, where people find you online?
Here, I think on Hunter's Nerd Entertainment Network, I'm gonna be in a match against Kevin Paws. I'm excited
Mhm.
about that. I don't
Look
know
out, Kevin Paws.
Uh-oh.
I haven't had a lot of time to study, so I'm not gonna be trash talking.
He said or not.
I'm sure it'll be a very friendly match. You guys are both fun people.
Yeah, it'll be a lot
Definitely.
of fun.
Chad?
On here doing stuff here is very fun. But also like I just did rank them. We did Bruce
Oh, yeah.
Willis stuff. Carrie was on there. It was very fun. Over at Take 3. I also have like my own channel where we rank things. I might have to have Hunter on at some point and do something fun with like horror or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We have a Christmas tier ranking we did. We did Edgar Wright. We did Harry Potter, but I need to get that episode actually published. And then we have plans to do Denis Villeneuve and maybe a big MCU ranking. I'll get all that out pretty soon. I also have on the Dill Pickle Movie Network, my buddy Dylan Randazzo has a great channel over there. Please like and subscribe to that. But we have a show called Picture This. And every month we go through a year of the Oscars. We talk about the nominees and the winners of the Best Picture. We rank them, talk about them, and then we also highlight actors and actresses from the year, talk about the year itself, the Oscar ceremonies. It's very fun. Next month, we're doing 2021 Light of the Oscars season. We did 1967 this month. That just dropped earlier today. And then also last month, we did 1980. We had Dan and Skip Allen on there, and that was a very fun conversation. Otherwise, I'm just doing like a lot of TMG, movie battlegrounds, trivia, kind of trivia everywhere, trying to spread that around and have a good time.
Definitely.
Thanks, Hunter.
All right.
This was fun.
All right, guys. If you did enjoy this one, actually, I do want to plug something.
Yeah.
Today, Ground Zero has dropped. So we have two big matches. First off, the Horror Championship is online. Jeremy Adams taking on myself in a 5-rounder for the championship. And then the main event, the Nerdum champion, Ryan Payne, taking on the singles champion, Robert Kastner. Title winner becomes the undisputed Movie Trivia Challenge champion of the world. So, guys, go watch that. It is a very good event. And as Carrie said, she will be taking on Kevin Paws. That will be airing next month, as well as Chad versus Alec Miller in the horror division. And I will get the Web versus Web match. That will happen, guys.
If you lose us,
Or you lose.
or I lose.
Uh-oh. So, guys, if you did enjoy this, hit all that bunch of subscribe to Entertainment Network. Then, thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon.